Well, if you're anything like me, you would have been stupidly excited when you heard about Crysis 2 receiving its first DLC. I fell in love with the multiplayer of this game back in March on release, and so naturally I was all over this when I heard about it. Well, we've played it to death, and we wanted to share our opinions and even give a tip or two along the way. First things first, these maps are stunning. Textures are near perfect, the lighting is jaw-dropping, and set pieces going above your head like dogfights or mortars being fired at enemy ships. I took some time away from Crysis when the Call of Duty map packs were released and also when Brink came out, and I'd forgotten how amazing this game looks. There was more than one occasion where I was killed whilst looking across the water on Shipyard or looking at the enemies in the sky on Transit. They really went to town, and the detail is incredible, like I've never seen in any other DLC. Now let's get to the actual maps themselves. There's a generous amount to get your teeth into here. All feel like they've been plucked straight from the Crysis world, feeling familiar but not samey. The 4 maps in total: Park Avenue, Shipyard, Transit and Compound, each with the different tactical advantages and individual charm.
Incoming!
Park Avenue is a long L-shaped map with a huge broken bridge down the centre to break it up into 2 sides. Buildings are accessible on either side, and there are plenty of ways to get up onto the bridge itself. There are a few sniper points, but I wouldn't recommend sniping on this level because the only places you can snipe from, your back is completely exposed. The indoor areas are varied and provide great cover and quick exits if needed. The diner in the centre of the level also gives you a quick way to get to each part of the level, but being confined enough for enemies to ambush you as well as you to set up ambushes yourself. I'd recommend medium to long range weapons here, possibly go for loadout pro, change your secondary weapon to a shotgun, and then you should be able to change that on the indoor sections to get up close and personal with people. Use stealth well and you'll easily gain the upper hand here. The indoor sections, specifically the diner in the middle, are going to be a camper's paradise, so watch your corners, don't enter rooms too confidently, always make sure you're checking your back, and you should be perfectly fine. From my experience playing these maps, Shipyard is possibly one of the most popular ones that we've played. A huge ship docked in the centre is the main focus of the level, the rest of the level wraps around the outside. Buildings are on either side, they provide cover for both flanking enemies and escaping if needed. There are plenty of cranes and platforms to climb onto that look right across the level, and the ability to drop down right into the water itself next to the ship. The ship itself is also accessible, however use caution when doing this. The ship is the main focus of the level and you don't want to be exposed upon there, you'll be very visible. The ship itself also has different levels to it. The very high post on the top of the ship is a great sniper point. You can see every part of the map from here, but you are very exposed. Use cover and your cloak intelligently. Compound is plucked straight from the storyline and will look very familiar to anyone who's beaten the game. This is the smallest of the 4 maps, however it does have some of the best sniper points inside the buildings themselves. To counteract this though, there is plenty of cover behind vehicles, trees, and there's even a large exposed pipe to escape from danger. My advice on this map would be to mainly run and gun. Use power abilities, and when recharging make sure you use cover wisely. Keep a close eye on those sniper points because I can guarantee there's going to be people occupying these all the way through the game. Climb and take high ledges. It's the best thing you can do to make sure you've got an overview of the entire map and to see your opponents very clearly, but just make sure that it's in the back of your mind you know how exposed you actually are. Transit is a sniper's paradise. High ledges overlook the derailed train, which will make some very sticky situations for those on the ground. However, cover is plentiful, and the terrain makes it quite hard to see cloaked enemies from afar. It's also possible to enter into the station, which is on the left hand side through an opening on the wall, or by following the broken train lines around the back of the level. This is another one of those maps that you're just going to need to take a second to look around. As soon as I spawned, I looked up to see an alien ship being blasted out of the sky by mortar. It really does give you the feeling of being part of the battle. This is by far the most intricate map. There are a lot of places to find and a lot of places to avoid. Anyone with any ounce of skill in sniping is going to be all over this and will really take advantage if you don't know what you're doing. These maps are some of the best DLC I have ever bought. The level of detail is in another league and really has given a new lease of life to Crysis for me. If you're like me and you put Crysis to one side to move away and play something different for a while, do yourself a favour, go get it right now, download this DLC and play it for yourself. I guarantee you will not be sorry. For all our latest videos, please head over to www.bladupgaming.co.uk. See you there.